Hi, and welcome to the Foundational Femme. And again, I just want to congratulate you on being here and picking you and your future and really getting what you want. And really that starts at the beginning, right? Knowing what it is that you want, what it is you don't want. But that comes down to, this is all about the feminine. There is so much stuff out there about the divine feminine, masculine, especially you might be totally new to this, you might not know any of that stuff. So this video is really just tapping you into just a basic fundamental understanding of what the feminine is, how she shows up, what the masculine is and how he shows up, and how they both show up within you. Because ultimately you are this person and you have both masculine and feminine qualities within you. And that's a good thing. This is not about saying one is better than the other. I really want you to understand that being in your feminine just means that you're getting the mature parts of the feminine, the highest parts, and you're incorporating those into your life more. And you're also doing the same with the masculine. And before we can do that, you have to know what those are. So that's what this is about. And in the workbook, if you've started, you'll see how I identify the mature feminine and the immature feminine, and the mature masculine and immature masculine. And really what this is, it's how the immature feminine shows up. And now you could call it maybe lower vibration energies or higher vibration. I like to say immature and mature because really it's how you come out as a kid. If you notice, a lot of children will show up this way, and it doesn't mean that you're being childlike and juvenile, but what it does mean is that you haven't learned how to upgrade those energies into ways that work for you instead of ways that don't work for you. So don't be hard on yourself if you look at the list and you're like all immature, because it just means that you where you are. And so that love and acceptance is really important in this step. So remember that. So let's start at the beginning. I'm going to look at my notes, so might just excuse me for that. And if you look at the bottom of the video, you will have the same notes. So I invite you to click on those so you can follow along with me. So the beginning, the lower vibration feminine energies are a lot of the energies that you've noticed that you didn't like in other women, and maybe even in yourself. And a lot of times that's why you haven't connected with women, or you stayed away from them because you just don't like that at all. And so maybe you can recognize it in yourself or others. Either way, the lower vibration energies are being wishy-washy, meaning you change your mind, you don't really know what's going on, you're not really firm in yourself or your decisions or really what you even want or know in this world. Being wishy-washy. Second is being weak. A lot of women, especially powerful women, will revert to the masculine because they think the feminine is weak. And really, the feminine can show up as weak, but it's usually when you're in your immature feminine. And so that's why when you get in the mature, you can be powerful in a feminine way. And that's really what this is about. But at first, it's just setting the foundation of knowing exactly where you are and where you want to be. Airy fairy, you've all known people like this. You've probably been this yourself at times. Artsy fartsy, kind of like up in the clouds, not grounded, up in the air, floating around with things. Slutty, you've seen this. Women who use their femininity to flaunt. They flaunt it in a way that's manipulative, that is not maybe in a way that you would like, but it's more of a, when you say slutty, they're doing it because they're insecure about themselves and they think that that's their power, where really it is, but it's not powerful if you do it in a slutty way. When you do it more in a mature way and you can be seductive and open to those seductive powers, then you don't really need to use your body per se and wear low-cut shirts and wear clothes that are revealing, but you can do it in a very powerful way, which is probably the most powerful tool you have in your toolbox. Next is being a pushover. dreamer. You know, this is a lot of those unconcrete things. And it's also, remember, your feminine gifts are gifts because they are the other side of the coin to the masculine. We'll talk about how these relate in a second. The next is being smothering. It usually stems from feeling insecure, really holding on too tightly. Being codependent, again, insecurity, your wounds meshing with someone else's, and you just kind of agree to play into each other's wounds, and it usually ends up in heartache, not fun interactions, and if you can move out of that, that's really powerful. Being a joiner, meaning you just kind of go along with what other people say and think. Being gullible, really believing things without thinking them through, without saying wait, without contemplation and checking in with yourself. Being compromising, giving in when you really don't want to, and being a victim. Now, we've all done this in our lives at some point or another, but this is an immature feminine quality where you're the one, where everyone is attacking you and you're poor me, and look what's happening to me now. And this feeds into the ego a lot of making yourself right and them wrong in this kind of dysfunctional way. So before we go on to the mature feminine qualities, I just wanted to say, you know, how these work together, the masculine and feminine. And you have to honor both. If you think of it this way, the feminine are ideas. It's the creativity that you have. And it's usually non-tangible things. So the feminine part of you thinks in the morning, let's get up, we're probably going to brush our teeth, and let's change the world. We're going to do all these amazing things. The masculine part of you lies in bed, says, okay, let's do it, and actually gets your butt out of bed, brushes your teeth. The masculine is the doer. The masculine is the executor that actually gets this done. So if you notice in your life, if you are a dreamer, if you're really in your feminine, especially if you don't have this good balance, you might have all these ideas, you might even start them, but not completing. That's a weak masculine, because you don't have, or just either not starting, not completing, not following through. That's weak masculine. And so, again, it's like a ship. The feminine directs and the masculine executes. The masculine actually gets shit done, if you want to put it that way. So let's talk about the opposite. So again, the weak was wishy-washy. Now the powerful, high vibration, mature feminine instead is pliable. You know, she is able to change, but in a way that's powerful and not just wishy-washy. Oh yes, this way, then that way. She's firm but pliable. She's vulnerable. She's open to open up and really expose herself in a way that's still safe. That's why the foundational femme is so important, creating that safety within yourself to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to allow yourself to open into the divine feminine. Because if you don't feel safe, there's no way you're going to be vulnerable. And if you want to put vulnerability into a different word, it's really opening. That sometimes feels better to us. We don't have as much fear and charge around it, so it's easier to do, even though it's really the same thing. So notice if you have charge around words, use a word that implies the same thing, but that's not going to give you the negative charge. Or you can work on clearing that negative charge so that you can open to it fully. Again, intuitive. A very powerful feminine gift is your intuition. And tuning into that and trusting it. Again, this is where the boundaries come in, and the safety. You have to be able to trust yourself, be your word, and actually do what you say you're going to do. Feminine is creative. This is very powerful strength. And you know this, you felt it, and you tap into it all the time. The feminine is seductive. Now when I say seductive, I want you to think of it in maybe a different way than you've seen before. Seduction is really an art form, and everyone wants to be seduced. It doesn't matter if you're a woman, a child, a man, we all want to be seduced. And really what this means is lovingly coerced into doing what the other person wants, but it's also what we want. So seduction doesn't work if you like totally, this is not my thing, not working. But think of it in relation to your lover. If you already like someone and they have something that you want, isn't it so much more enjoyable for you if, think of these two scenarios, they come up to you and say, hey, let's make out. You're like, okay. Or the seduction part of it, they come up to you and they hold your hand and they touch you and they maybe touch your cheek and you're feeling and you're laughing and you're playing, and then it just naturally happens that they lay a kiss on your lips and you start making out. Now, the one is more natural, it's more in the flow, and it's more fun. So I want you to see seduction as that. You're not coercing anyone into doing anything they don't already want. I mean, that won't work because seduction is subtle. It's feeling into the energies, which are your feminine gifts, and it's doing what feels good to you and the other person. It has to feel good to both of you. And then it's playful and fun, and you get what you want and they get what they want, and we're all happy. And so part of this course is setting a foundation to really tap into that seduction, and the next course on the spectrum is the art of authentic seduction, which is so powerful, so fun, and really tapping into your body, tapping into, well, connecting to your body in a new way and drawing that power out of you to be seductive and powerful, because it's so powerful but so fun. Okay, back to our high vibration, mature feminine qualities. The next is being receptive. Now, this is, again, open instead of just being closed off. So notice if you just close yourself off or if you're open to new ideas, and being receptive. Being nurturing, which you are. Interdependent. Now this is different than codependent. You can be by yourself and you're okay being by yourself and doing things by yourself, but you're also open to working with other people. Interdependent, very powerful tool. Communal, we like to have people around us. We like to be in groups, which is also good, support. And so I invite you to open to that, especially in this. Connect to our online community, reach out to your friends, your family, and start really connecting to women in a new way. And noticing those women who embody more of the mature feminine, because those are really the things you do love. Maybe you don't connect to women because you hate all the cattiness. Those are immature. So the more you start embodying the mature feminine, the more you will attract other women in the same space. And that's very, very powerful. Girl energy, being in that feminine energy together. I connect with my girlfriends at least once or twice a week. If not once a week, tops every 2 weeks. And if I don't do that, things start getting out of whack. I just crave it. It feels so good to me now. Where before, I was a loner. I didn't really think I needed friends. I didn't think I needed to really connect to people. And I didn't connect to people on a deep level, but it really is powerful. Next is being trusting, which we have discussed and will discuss more. Being collaborative and accountable. So look at your list and see which spectrum you're on now, and just be kind to yourself, and then know what's possible and just be conscious of embodying those. So I also want to go over the masculine qualities. And so the weak masculine is, and the immature masculine is also weak. And you've seen this in men. And if you really embody a strong masculine part yourself, which a lot of women who are really developed in their masculine, you have the mature masculine nailed, you might be attracting an immature man into your life because he's more on the feminine, and you might feel he's weak. So it has really nothing to do with sex. It's more about the energies. So please remember that this is about the energies, not about if you're a man or a woman. And so I might interchange those, but really what I'm meaning is the energy of the masculine and the energy of the feminine. Again, the low vibration is being irresponsible, being anal. I don't need to explain that. Controlling, being a predator, being power hungry, manipulative, domineering, isolated, selfish, foolish, competitive, and arrogant. Now, a lot of women are very competitive too, and I mean, a lot of women are all of these things. But just notice that competitiveness is an immature quality, because really there's enough for everyone. If you always want to win, that means someone has to lose. And so really shifting out of that energy in more of the interdependence, the cooperation, the collaboration, that's so much more of a powerful place, because there is enough for everyone and your message is unique. What you have is unique. You don't have to fight to get market share. You don't have to fight to get presence, because there's enough for everyone to go around, right? Okay, so let's talk about the powerful masculine, which is the mature masculine, high vibration. And you'll notice you want all of these things in your life too as a woman, because this is where that execution, if you really know you have a mission to do in life, you want to be mature masculine and mature feminine. You want to blend those two so well together. And I have a story for you on how one of my friends who has worked extensively in this really did that for himself as a man. Before he had this business where he repairs credit. He doesn't actually repair it, he optimizes it for people. And he was getting 1 to 2 new clients a month, maybe 3. And his package price was $3,000. So he was making a good income. And he was just working every day, working hard. But he was at this cap, right? He started doing some of this work and realized that he was not in his feminine. He was just pounding away in the masculine way. And so he started to open more to his feminine gifts and being more communal, more collaborative, and more creative, and bringing that creativity into his business. As he started to do that, he developed a team, and now he has over 20 people working for him, and I'm not exactly sure how many programs he is selling a month, but I know it is more than 3. Really, so not only is he supporting himself, he's creating all those jobs, and he's having a ton of fun doing it, traveling around, speaking, and now that's what he does, and he has a team to sell his products for him. So he's doing what he loves, as well as supporting all these other people. And that's what it's about. It's about merging the two together. So notice where you're weak, notice where you can start working on things to really get to be in a powerful place. So the high vibration masculine is being powerful. And this is one of my affirmations, I'm powerful, because it's your presence, and that's what we're developing here, that feminine presence that can stand on her own and that can really come across with confidence, and then you can execute. And that's another one of these executes. The mature masculine gets stuff done. He's logical, a leader, a hunter, which is different than a predator. You can kind of feel that difference. You're not preying on something and it doesn't have that creepy energy. You're a hunter. There's strategy, there's purpose behind it, and you know what you want, and you're going to get it because you know you need to provide for your family, for yourself. You need results. So that's that hunter energy. Being ambitious, having goals, striving for things, but being strategic about it. Having a plan, being motivating to yourself and to others. And so this is when we say high vibration, because it's building yourself up. It's not being the victim. Oh my gosh, all this happened to me. No wonder I can't do it. It's instead the same situation, but in a powerful place where you take accountability for stuff and you can motivate yourself. Yeah, this is hard, but I'm going to get through it. And not only am I going to get through it, it's going to be to my advantage. Really being in that energy. The masculine is being independent, being able to stand on your own 2 feet if you have to. And so this is a very good skill, because you never know what's going to happen. You might be married now, you might have this core group, but that can go in a second. You need to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and really be an independent human being so that you can be interdependent. You have to be dependent first, you know, be able to hold yourself together without having to rely on others, because it's one thing to be open to relying on others, but if you have to rely on others for just your basic support, it doesn't feel powerful. You always feel like you need someone and you need something in your life. And the goal here is to be in your power, your full power. Being centered, being courageous, we can all use courage, being a builder, and being confident. So if you notice, these words here are, even though we're embodying the feminine, we're also embodying the masculine, the powerful, the masculine traits, the high vibration traits. So if you notice one of your lists, it's the optimized woman. There's both. And I invite you to please put this up somewhere so you can see it every day, so you can remind yourself that these are the qualities that you're wanting to embody, and you can start thinking about it, feeling what these things even mean, especially if they're really foreign to you. And so that you can integrate both of them together and really live the optimized life.